All right, everybody. My name is Rock the Mike. Welcome back to Mayday Mayhem 2015. We're getting ready to set up here on track one as the Rage City Rollergirls, their all-stars, take on the Molly Morbits of the Happy Valley Derby Darlings.
That's right, and this is DJ Dick. So far, this is looking like this is going to be one of the better games of the day, we're thinking. We're excited to call this, and there's the whistle. Game is on.
Rage City trying to get their jammer through. She's got a four-wall Happy Valley defense at the front. That is Painmaker Sally jamming for Rage City.
And that is 503 Hypnotic Therapy jamming for Happy Valley. She's at the back of the pack, barreling through. She breaks through and is now putting the pressure on.
Yeah, Painmaker Sally getting lead jammer already. Fast pack speed here, making it a little tough for the jammers to get back around. Happy Valley up in front of the pack. It's going to be kind of hard for Painmaker Sally to get these points here.
Hypnotic Therapy looking at the inside line. Painmaker Sally calling off the jam just before Hypnotic Therapy is able to hit the pack. 2 points scored by Painmaker Sally, nothing for Happy Valley.
Yeah, it's a very quick call off there. Happy Valley jammer coming up on the back of the pack fairly quickly, making it a little bit of a stressful situation for Rage City. But I'm sure they're not going to get too mad about it. And timeout is already called. That's the first timeout. This is going to be an official timeout.
Official timeout right off the bat.
I think it's going to be adjusting the clock. The jam timer comes up to the scoreboard operator here. Of those of you watching at home, Rage City is in black and orange. Happy Valley is in white.
And just a few comments for you. Earlier today, Rage City played Muddy River and lost that game 186 to 156. Happy Valley played Lava City and lost that game by 8 points, 150 to 141, 9 points. So both these teams coming off of a loss, both of these teams looking to put a win on the board for them at this point. So this should be a pretty hard-fought game.
Absolutely, and with this being, two teams from the two closest games so far, this really has a lot of potential to be the most exciting game we've had so far in this 5th annual 2015 Mayday Mayhem tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. The Happy Valley Lava City game was the closest game that we've seen on either track today, with only 9 points separating the score. Lava City having won that.
We have some technical difficulties with the scoreboard here, trying to get it all squared away.
And because this is a WFTDA sanctioned game, the scoreboard is required to be up and functioning and visible for the skaters. So they've got to get that fixed before gameplay can continue.
That is correct. What is shown on the scoreboard is the official time and points. So very important that we get that correct and functional.
Yeah, with the new rules that started at the beginning of this season, what's reflected up there is what everyone goes by. So it's very important, more important than it has been in the past, to make sure that that scoreboard is absolutely correct. Just real quick while we're waiting, I'm going to run through the roster for the Happy Valley Derby Darlings. That's 1057 Thrasher, 11 Insanity, 12 Cookie, 131 Kickin' Assets, 19 Breaker, 223 Valkyrie Vixen, number 4 Pain in the Nicky, number 428 Olivia Wildchild, number 480 Demoraliza, number 503 Hypnotic Therapy, number 515 Roper, number 521 Gypsy Wipeout, number 73 Flower Bomb, and number 84 Wham Bam Julianne.
And skating for the Rage City All-Stars, we have number 100 Little Red Vet, number 12 New England Pat Riot, number 202 Tiger, number 2112 Old Derby Basher, number 212, Hot Donna. Number 227, Volatile Violet. Number 26, Batman. Number 313, Wicked Speedia. Number 49, Ice Crystal. Number 50, Deuce Gunner. Number 66, Painmaker Sally. Number 76, Genetically Evil. And number 93, Jack in Her Box.
I have to say that I think that the number 26, Batman, has got to be one of my favorite derby names that I've seen this tournament. Every time I see that name, every time I look at the roster, I hear the old Batman TV show theme going through my head.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Those of you at home that may not know what we're talking about, at some point later, you can look it up on YouTube. It's catchy. Once it's in your head, it doesn't go away.
That is correct. Classic 60s TV.
And there's the end of the timeout whistle. The team's lining up. The 5 seconds has been given.
Rage City currently taking the front side of the pack as they go with the scrum start.
Happy Valley taking the back of that. Both jammers looking for an opening. That's number 223, Valkyrie Vixen, jamming for Happy Valley. Valkyrie Vixen getting pushed to the inside, is recycled back to turn 1.
And number 100, Little Red Vet, lead jammer for Rage City. Already coming back up on the back of the pack. She gets into...
Valkyrie Vixen sneaks to the inside, gets out in front, but is not lead jammer.
And so that was her initial pass, so now both jammers clear to score. Little Red Vet trying to make her way through the pack, shoots around the outside, up in the middle, calls it off, and that's going to be good for 5. Right, already lining back up here. Happy Valley taking the back end of the pack. Rage City in black up in front.
And we see Rage City with an interesting lineup here as they've got 2 blockers facing forward, 2 blockers facing back. That gives them the ability to kind of focus on the Happy Valley jammer and adjust their strategy accordingly.
And underway. Happy Valley shifts around the inside.
Cookie with a nice block there on Ice Crystal, number 49, jamming for
Rage City.
Rage City. Rage City in black, Happy Valley in white. That is Thrasher, number 1057, jamming for Happy Valley.
And Ice Crystal's got a 2-wall to get her in front. They push it past 20 feet. They have to let her go. She's going to be your lead jammer.
Thrasher putting on the pressure out of the pack. About a half a lap behind.
Ice Crystal already making her way up into the middle of the pack, trying to find a way through.
Happy Valley leaves an opening on the outside, and Ice Crystal finds it, picks up 4 points, calls off the jam just as Thrasher was about to hit the back of the pack. So Happy Valley here needing to kind of work on their track awareness, make sure that they're not leaving open those doors for Rage City to walk through.
Yeah, Rage City so far doing a good job monopolizing all the points. Score currently 11 for Rage City, 0 for Happy Valley. It all comes down to just having those solid walls and knowing where that other jammer is. And up again, Happy Valley taking the back right on the front end of the jammer line for the start.
Happy Valley jammer doing some jumping around back there, trying to get through the 2-wall headed by Evil from Rage City.
And Batman forcing her into the infield, drops back.
That is Demoralizer jamming for Happy Valley. Demoralizer attacking the pack once again, going up against 3-wall of Rage City defenders. Evil in the mix once again. Batman putting on the hurt for Demoralizer.
And Paymaker Sally jamming for Rage City, trying to get around, kicking assets. Wham Bam Julianne right there to hold her. She gets knocked down on the outside edge of the track, but she's back up and in.
Demoralizer taking some really hard hits, still at the back of the pack, going through a 2-wall, trying to get around Batman. I just like saying that name.
Paymaker Sally works her way around the outside. She's going to be your lead jammer. Already coming up on the back of the pack. Hot Donna holding Demoralizer back.
Yeah, and that was actually a great hit there by Painmaker Sally, pushing Demoralizer out. Demoralizer has taken the star off her head. It looks like she's thinking about passing it.
She's not going to get the opportunity. Painmaker Sally forced her out of bounds and then dropped all the way back around the track. Demoralizer came in front of her, so she's going to get that cutting the track penalty. This is going to be a power jam for Rage City.
Yeah, and that's not what Happy Valley wanted to have happen right now. It's going to be all up to the Happy Valley blockers. Another Happy Valley blocker now being sent to the penalty box.
Yeah, so Rage City currently on top of the 4-on-3 in pack advantage.
Wham Bam.
Painmaker Sally goes around, picks up 5 more.
Wham Bam Julian with chasing Painmaker Sally down, put a little hit on Painmaker Sally, but it wasn't enough to stop her. Kicking assets to do a little jump over Mustang there as Painmaker Sally calls off the jam.
And Demoralizer did come back in just before that whistle blew. So we will not have a power jam start for this next one. We're going to be back to both jammers on the track.
Rage City down to 3 blockers. Happy Valley down to 3 blockers.
And Happy Valley continuing to line up right on the jammer line.
Happy Valley, number 503. Hypnotic Therapy getting pushed out at the straightaway. Has got to recycle back. Going up against Batman and Evil again. Those two blockers, Batman and Evil, pretty tough pair to get through.
Definitely. Little Red Vet struggling with one Happy Valley blocker at the front of the pack.
Hypnotic Therapy goes to the outside. And Hypnotic Therapy is not lead jammer. That goes to Little Red Vet. But Hypnotic Therapy gets in front of Little Red Vet, forcing her to call off the jam. No points scored by either team.
That's a penalty box lightening up a little bit here at Happy Valley, back to full strength.
Rage City with just two blockers out on the track now.
I say 4-on-2 in the pack, and make it a little more difficult for Rage City to get something going here. So maybe this is the advantage that Happy Valley is looking for. Try to get some points up on the board.
That's Evil and Tiger out there for Rage City, forming a nice little two-wall.
Evil calling the shots here. She pushes Tiger around. Doing a good job holding Happy Valley's jammer back.
Yeah, that jammer is Valkyrie Vixen. Valkyrie Vixen just muscles her way through and picks up lead jammer. We had a star pass for Rage City.
That pass going to Ice Crystal.
Ice Crystal got out in front of Valkyrie Vixen and decided to, Valkyrie Vixen decided to call off the jam. A timeout is now being called by Happy Valley. Right now, a score 21-0. So Rage City doing an excellent job of controlling the game at this point, preventing the Happy Valley jammers from breaking through the pack and picking up the advantage. Batman and Evil seem to be the dynamic duo, if you will, of blockers for Rage City. You knew that was coming. I
did. Yep. Yes, Rage City versus Happy Valley. You know, two extremes right there, Happy and Rage.
Happy and Rage.
Right now, the Rage is winning.
Happy Valley in this timeout attempting to find their happy place?
I'd say so. I hope they find it. So they need to get this, rallied back together, start getting their jammer through. Rage City really doing a good job holding them so far, not just getting Rage's jammer through, but also holding Happy Valley back. So Happy Valley needs to kind of shift into more of an offensive mode here, get their jammer through, get her around, and get some points up.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Happy Valley blockers going in and breaking up that two-wall for their jammer to get the jammer through.
Yes, and Evil doing a good job flipping around backwards, really being able to guide whoever she's got with her. And we've got somebody who can do that really well. It's hard to get past that.
And the timeout has now changed to an official timeout.
Yeah, I don't see captains in the middle, so this doesn't appear to be an official review.
And From Hell giving the end of the timeout signal.
Looks like a helmet cover swap for Rage City. Not quite enough contrast between the two teams.
Batman now taking the helm as the blocker. Oh, and look at that. Thrasher through the pack very quickly. Sent to the penalty box for cutting the track. It looked like she was going to get lead jammer, but instead is penalized. That's going to put Rage City back into a power jam. Jamming for Rage City, number 66, Painmaker Sally once again.
And Rage City doing a job holding the pack steady, just coming into turn one. As Painmaker Sally tries to work her way around the outside, around Olivia Wildchild. She gets through, that's going to be good for 5. Rage City continuing to hold the pack in between turns 1 and 2.
Happy Valley putting up a 4-wall there at the apex. Painmaker Sally trying to get around. Happy Valley pushes Painmaker Sally to the outside, and Shanity gets sent to the penalty box for their efforts.
And Thrasher is back in, so Power Jam is over. Painmaker Sally coming up on her next scoring run. 3-wall of Happy Valley defense to get her around, gets knocked to the infield.
Thrasher took a hit and got recycled back and is now going up against that 4-wall of Rage City defenders once again. Seeing a solid little diamond formation here from Rage City at the front. Thrasher makes it through, but falls to the inside and is going to get pulled back. Instead, Rage City chooses to call off the jam.
So Rage City currently up. The 13-point jam. They're now looking at a score of 34-0. Almost 10 minutes away so far in this first half. The Happy Valley looks like they were about to get a momentum shift, but then that cutting the track penalty happened.
But it appeared they figured out what they need to do to get their jammer through. So if they can just do that play again and this time stay within bounds, they should be good.
And Rage City again going with the two blockers facing the wrong direction to guide the blockers facing the right direction. Very effective so far.
Bricker coordinating the defense now with Wham Bam Julianne and Insanity going up against Little Red Vet. Meanwhile, the Happy Valley blocker stuck in what looks like molasses of Rage City defenders.
And she's contending with all four blockers from Rage City. Trying to find her way through. That is demoralizer. And she does find her way in front of most of them, but now she's got a 2-wall to contend with. Back to 4.
Rage City did a great job when they got split up there of reforming. And that's going to put Rage City with 5 points on the board as Little Red Vet scores. Demoralizer through the pack. You hear some of the Happy Valley fans applauding, excited that she made her way through.
And Little Red Vet calling off the jam before Demoralizer can get in. 1 more point on the board for Rage City.
So at this point, we are 8 jams in, no points scored by Happy Valley.
No.
Happy Valley down to 3 blockers, taking the front line.
And this time Rage City lining up in the back of the pack.
Happy Valley once again is in white, Rage City in black and orange. And the jammer, number 503 Hypnotic Therapy, gets pushed to the inside, has to recycle back in between the jam and pivot lines. Hypnotic Therapy now going up against a solid 3-wall of Rage City defenders. Happy Valley blockers come in to break that up, but it's not enough. Hypnotic Therapy gets held up by the pivot. Meanwhile, Evil, number 78 with the star on her head, jamming for Rage City.
As the Eagle stepping into the jammer rotation. Seen her do some incredibly effective things as a blocker and a pivot. This is the first time we've seen her jam, and she picks up 3.
At this point, Rage City giving their primary jammers maybe a bit of a rest by throwing Evil into the mix, letting Evil get in there so their jammers can rest up. They've got a nice, comfortable lead. So if they were going to take an opportunity to rest up their jammers, this would be the time to do it.
Definitely. Keep it strong going into the rest of the tournament. There's still a lot of playing left to be done this weekend.
Yeah, this is only day 1. And these games today deciding the placing in the bracket for tomorrow's games.
That's right, and both of these teams have already played once previously.
Both lost previously, so they both want to win here.
Ice Crystal jamming for Rage City. She tries to make her way through, but it is Happy Valley's Valkyrie Vixen out in front first, your lead jammer.
First lead jammer for Happy Valley, and Valkyrie Vixen is making the most of it as she screams around the pack.
Happy Valley really stretching this pack out.
Valkyrie Vixen through the front picks up 5 points. Some nice dodging and juking moves around the defensive line of Rage City. Rage City now playing catch-up.
The first time the Rage City's been in this position.
And Happy Valley picking up another 4 points as Valkyrie Vixen calls off the jam. You can see she engaged a blocker at the back of the pack there, knocked that blocker down, and then called it off. Nice move there by Happy Valley as they put their first points on the board, 9 points.
And Genetically Evil was the Rage City blocker. Took a nasty fall. Ended up going down sideways.
Doesn't seem to have affected her as she's coordinating the defense now for Rage City. Solid 3-wall. Little diamond formation here by Rage City.
And Happy Valley again taking their usual spot right on the jammer line. Paymaker Sally jamming for Rage City. Force to the outside. Cookie dropping back. Forcing to come in a good 25 feet behind the pack, but it's Thrasher who's going to be your lead jammer. Happy Valley, 2 in a row.
Happy Valley now. Thrasher putting on the Jets. Coming around here. Happy Valley protecting that inside line.
A huge hit from Cookie sends Painmaker Sally out on the outside.
Thrasher does a great job of splitting apart the Rage City defenders at the front of the pack. They've got to let her through, and that is 5 points, 5 in the sky for Thrasher.
And Painmaker Sally going for the star pass. She's removed it from her helmet. Looks like she's trying to get it to her pivot. Pivot has it. She's running away with it.
Thrasher got caught up there for a second. Picks up 4 points and calls off the jam just as the jammer for Rage City, the pivot for Rage City, can put the star on her head.
Yeah, that was Deuce Gunner wearing the pivot stripe. Just about to start jamming. But great job by Happy Valley in that jam. 9 points to that one. That brings our score now 43-18. We're starting to see the kind of action that you and I were both hoping for.
Absolutely. I think it took Happy Valley a little bit to figure out the way that Rage City was playing their defense, but they seem to have done that in these last 2 jams. Olivia Wildchild mixing it up there against a 3 defenders there. That's Deuce Gunner coordinating things at the front of that wall. Excuse me, that's Hypnotic Therapy jamming for Happy Valley.
And Little Red Vet is wearing the star for Rage City. She tiptoes her way on the inside line to be your lead jammer.
Nice sneaky move there as Hypnotic Therapy looked for an opening. Number 131, Kicking Assets, comes in to help her out. It's not quite enough. Hypnotic still having a hard time at the front of the pack now.
And Rage City's jammer forced to the outside coming into turn 3.
Hypnotic Therapy through the pack. Starts her scoring run.
And Little Red Vet calls off the jam, 0-0.
43-18. This is still anybody's game. 13 minutes in this half. We've seen some change of momentum here.
And then again, Happy Valley lining up on the back, trying to hold Rage City's jammers back early. Batman calling the shots right now for Rage City in the front.
That name just brings a smile to my face every time I say it or
Doesn't
hear
it though? Happy Valley doing a good job defensively right now.
Valkyrie Vixen jamming. Goes to the outside. Oh, nice job of Valkyrie Vixen. Stays on the inside of the outside line. Looked like she was going to step out, but did not. And picks up lead jammer for Happy Valley. Very fast-moving pack now.
Yeah, Rage City really trying to drive this forward, not being points.
Ice Crystal.
They have to stop.
Valkyrie Vixen gets around, picks up, does not pick up any points. Gets knocked out before she can pick up the point and calls off the jam, so no points either team.
Yeah, play's starting to get a little more aggressive. Fists are getting a little bigger. Skaters are moving around faster. Pack speed definitely becoming noticeably faster.
That's something that we've seen consistently throughout today as well, is that these teams that have not played each other before, the play goes a little slow in the first half of play, and then it starts to pick up and get more aggressive as the teams figure each other out.
Right, so they get that whole initial feeling each other out process, finding out what you do well that reacts against what they do, how to adjust and respond to what they start.
Nice breakout move there by
Painmaker Sally. She holds on that outside line.
Wham Bam Julianne chased her down, but wasn't quite enough to hold her back. Thrasher jamming for Happy Valley, having a difficult time at turn 2 from Hot Donna, who's really putting the nice positional blocking there on Thrasher.
Yeah, so she got that entire 4 wall that's just rotating around, holding her back.
And Thrasher looking for an opening and not finding it. Happy Valley blockers, Olivia Wildchild trying to get in there and help out.
Painmaker Sally having picked up 5 on her previous pass. Slides in backwards to a 4 wall. Trying to break around the outside.
There we go. Happy Valley Thrasher through now, starting her scoring run.
And Painmaker Sally going to call it off, picking up 4. And Rage City again heading towards the front of the pack, giving Happy Valley the opportunity to line up on that jammer line. Rage City looking to be doing better from the front of the pack. Maybe they just have more time to adjust and line up where they're going to start sending people, defensive slots.
The 3 blockers for Happy Valley, so they start out here in a little bit of a disadvantage. Not much. Three is not insurmountable.
No, it's pretty well matched. Just one short.
Payne and the Nikki jamming for Happy Valley. She gets pushed out by Batman, recycled back behind the jam line.
Little Red Vet jamming for Rage City, going to be your lead jammer, already working her way around the track, quarter lap behind the pack and closing.
That's going to be a cut track on Payne and the Nikki as she was sent now to the penalty box. She did not go back far enough. Came back in too soon.
So Little Red Vet going to have a power jam here. She picks up 5. Rage City holding the pack steady.
Happy Valley with a nice 4-wall here as they begin to bridge out to try and hold back.
Yeah, Little Red Vet finds that inside line. She shoots right around, picks up 5 more. And trying to do the same thing again. Tries to cut up the inside, but Olivia Wildchild there to stop her.
Cookie gets a penalty for her trouble in that play. Goes to the penalty box as the jam is called off. And we see Happy Valley taking the front this time. 3 blockers out on the track. They started out last jam with 3. They're starting out this jam with 3.
And nice scrum start here. Pack not really moving a whole lot yet. Evil jamming for Rage City, breaks her way through. She's going to be the lead jammer.
The second time Evil's jammed and picked up lead jammer. So for a blocker, she's doing a great job jamming. Jammer for Happy Valley having a difficult time with that defense.
Yeah, Demoralizer, the jammer for Happy Valley. Evil comes around the outside, picks up another 5.
Demoralizer finally finds an opening on the inside. The point's already picked up by Evil.
Yeah, Cookie coming out of the box. We're going to be back to 5-on-5 as Evil calls off the jam. No additional points scored for either team. With just about 8.5 minutes left in this first half, we're looking at Rage City with a score of 70, Happy Valley at 18.
For those of you watching at home or just joining us, thanks for picking things up. We want to give a shout out to ColoradoSports.TV for broadcasting this event so that you at home can enjoy it. You'll see that on your screen there is a Donate Now button. Go ahead and click on that. Do like $1, 50 cents, whatever. That's the price of a Coke.
Exactly. You can do without a latte Monday morning. $4.50, $5. It all goes to a great local company that supports local sports, not just roller derby. They do bowling, hockey, football, all sorts of great Colorado sports. So definitely, if you've got the time, you've got the cash, hit that donate button.
Hypnotic Therapy jamming for Happy Valley. And once again, we're seeing these nice solid walls from Rage City. Hypnotic Therapy having a hard time breaking through.
Yeah, Ice Crystal not having much difficulty getting through. Lead jammer coming up on the back of the pack. Happy Valley in back, dangerous position to be in. Ice Castle trying to get around, but she's got a 3-wall, 4-wall. Now it's a 2-wall, back to a 3-wall.
Cookie there with some nice blocking.
As a Happy Valley doing a good job of shifting their walls around.
Right. Still having a hard time holding back the Rage City Jammers as Ice Crystal gets through again, picking up 5 points. We have a star pass. Star has been passed to Payne in the Nikki. Payne in the Nikki through the pack, now has the star on.
Ice Crystal coming into the pack, gets stopped. She's going to call it off, picks up 1.
And no points for Happy Valley. Very intense game so far. Low scoring game at this point. Still anybody's game.
Absolutely. I say a lot of, Rage City really has been owning that lead jammer status. I have so far 3 jams where Happy Valley got lead jammer.
And they scored points on each of those jams.
Yes, they did. So when they get lead jammer, they are effective with it. They just need to focus on getting their jammer through first and getting that opportunity.
And that is Valkyrie Vixen, who scored a lot of the points here for Happy Valley, jamming for Happy Valley now. Tiger with some nice blocking. Hot Donna there with some blocking, making it difficult for Valkyrie Vixen to get through.
Paymaker Sally, lead jammer now, jamming for Rage City, already making her way, shoots around the outside of the pack for a quick, easy 4. Only getting 4 though because Valkyrie Vixen working her way around fairly well in this jam.
Calling that jam off before Valkyrie Vixen hit the pack and score. Both these teams, as we said earlier, coming into this game off of a loss. So both of these teams wanting a win here.
And we got Batman and Deuce Gunner in the front of the pack. Going to be skating it backwards as they guide their team around trying to get these jammers stopped or open up holes for theirs to get through. Olivia Wildchild with a good stop there on the inside for Little Red Vet.
Payne and Nikki pulled off the track and sent back to the bench.
Little Red Vet finds her way up the middle. Lead jammer.
Thrasher trying to get through the pack now, going up against those defenders again. Thrasher taking the inside line, breaks through, and now trying to put the pressure on Little Red Vet.
So Little Red Vet already back in the pack, trying to work her way on through the front. Gets to the front of the pack, calls it off with one left to pass. So she will pick up 3.
Wham Bam Julian came on the track just at the end there. So that's why Payne and Nikki was called off. They had a blocker in the box, and they obviously weren't quite aware of that at the start. So Demoralizer now with the star once again for Happy Valley.
And Happy Valley back to full strength. 4 blockers in the front. Seems to be a pretty effective place for them. They tend to do better when they're in the front than when they're in the back of the pack.
Demoralizer trying to take the inside line. Gets pushed, stays inside though.
Evil jamming again for Rage City, and she's going to be your lead jammer.
Batman putting on some hard blocks there up against Demoralizer. Kicking assets in the mix, trying to help Demoralizer out. Roper Mustang taking on Evil now, putting some nice blocking on Evil.
And Evil really taking some big hits right now.
Demoralizer getting pushed to the inside again, going up against that 3-wall.
And Evil had a 2-wall to contend with. She's down to 1, but goes out of play, has to let her go. That's good for 5 more.
Demoralizer with some great footwork. She's doing a lot of stepping around there on their toe stops, getting onto the outside line, but managing to stay in, keeping her wheels inside.
So that can be a very difficult thing to do, especially on a floor that's this slick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, polished concrete is not a friendly surface to skate on. It's a fun one to skate on because it's nice and smooth, but you don't have a whole lot of grip.
Happy Valley does have concrete in their home venues, so they may be a little more used to skating on this surface than a team like Rage City.
Definitely a possibility. Unfortunately, I don't know what Rage City skates on.
As Hypnotic Therapy approaches the line.
Hypnotic Therapy jamming now for Happy Valley.
And Batman back out in front for Rage City, calling the shots blocking-wise. She's got Hot Donna with her. And Deuce Gunner.
Hypnotic Therapy looking for an opening, goes to the inside, then starts to come down the middle. Nice big door on the outside. Hypnotic Therapy tries to take it, but steps out and gets brought back behind the pivot line.
Yeah. Ice Crystal takes that inside line, gets lead jammer status, already back in the pack, tries to get around Payne and the Nikki.
Hypnotic Therapy did a good job there of trying to slow down Ice Crystal before she hit the back herself.
As she slides through, she picks up 5.
Hypnotic Therapy is now through and looking to score some points here.
So Ice Crystal likely going to get in the middle of the pack, call it off for Hypnotic Therapy. Has a chance. There's the call right there.
And just about 2 minutes. It has been a pretty good game so far. Really exciting to see these two teams go up against each other. Rage City definitely in control.
Yes, it's all come down to getting that lead jammer. You know, jam for jam, these two are pretty evenly matched. Rage City really has dominated that lead jammer status.
Yeah, absolutely. Penalties have not played a huge factor in this game. Both these teams playing very clean, staying out of the penalty box. It just boils down to Happy Valley needs to figure out how to break through those Rage City walls and get their jammer out in front. And that is Valkyrie Vixen jamming for Happy Valley. Valkyrie Vixen getting pushed to the outside at turn 1, being brought all the way back. Painmaker Sally jamming for Rage City, also being brought all the way back.
Same thing. Painmaker Sally being knocked out about 15 feet behind her, still in the straightaway.
And it's Hypnotic Therapy to the outside, finds a wide open door and picks up lead jammer. Hypnotic Therapy, gets hit to the outside by Batman. Recycles back behind the jam line.
Paymaker Sally trying to go with a star pass, taking another huge hit from Kicking Assets.
Hypnotic Therapy gets pushed out again at the pivot line by Deuce Gunner. That'll pull Valkyrie Vixen back behind the jam line.
Brutal velocity by both teams at this point. As both teams not wanting to get.
And Valkyrie Vixen looking for that opening once again.
And Paymaker Sally finds her way through, but she's not lead.
Valkyrie Vixen calls off the jam. She did pick up 4 points for Happy Valley.
Yeah, again, this is just coming down to who's got that lead jammer status. We haven't seen a whole lot of big, high-scoring jams. They're 2 or 3.
Right.
But for the most part, it's 4s and 5s, one scoring pass and calling it.
Yeah, both teams defensively. And that is halftime. Our score, Rage City 97, Happy Valley 22.
Yeah, so as we've been saying this whole time, it's all been lead jammer getting out first. So once you can get out, each team is doing a good job of getting points on the board.
Right.
It's just getting out in front first. I think that's something that Happy Valley is going to be talking about in the locker room here during halftime.
Happy Valley needs to tighten up their walls. Make sure that they're not letting the jammer for Rage City get through. They can tighten up their walls and they can figure out a way to break the walls for Rage City. They're going to be in a good position to make up the points that they didn't score in the first half.
Right, that's where the kicker is going to be, is finding a way to break through while still containing the other team.
Well, we're going to take halftime now. We want to thank all of you at home for joining us here on ColoradoSports.TV. Go ahead and click that Donate Now button as you go get yourself a pop or some snacks to thank Colorado Sports TV for broadcasting this for us without a paywall, by the way. So you're viewing this for free. And I am DJ Dick.
I'm Rock the Mike, and we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. For those of you who've been with us so far, for those of you just joining in, my name is Rock the Mike.
And I am DJ Dick.
And we're coming up on the second half here of the Rage City Happy Valley bout here on day one of the 2015 Mayday Mayhem.
Coming into this game, both these teams, Rage City and Happy Valley, had come off of a loss. So it may be over obvious to say this, but both teams really looking to put a win in the win column for each of them here. Looking at the way things have gone throughout the day, both these teams had the most exciting close games so far of the day on their various earlier games. And we were looking at, seeing a very close game between these two teams. What we've seen so far is Rage City really controlling the game, doing a great job on defense, a great job of offense, breaking through the Happy Valley walls, getting their jammers out there in front.
Yeah, and just to tag on to that, it's what we've been seeing so far in the first half. Whoever gets that lead jammer, they get points on. It's usually not a lot of points. We're seeing a lot of 4 and 5 point jams, and one pass, calling it off. So getting that lead jammer status has been very key so far in the first half of this game. They're getting those points on the board, shutting down the other team. And both teams are doing that well. Rage City just consistently doing it more often.
And it's been a very, what we like to say, a clean game so far. Not a lot of penalties. On some of the other games that I've watched today, there have been a lot of cut tracks, a lot of multiplayer blocks, but we're not seeing a lot of penalties being called. Most of the time, these teams are at full complement, and we're ready to get going again.
All right, in case you just tuning in or you didn't remember, Rage City is in black, Happy Valley in white. And we're underway here. Second half has begun.
And jamming out there for Happy Valley, that is Hypnotic Therapy, just barreling her way, muscling her way through that front wall, picking up lead jammer right off the bat as the jammer for Rage City getting stuck behind a very tight 4-wall of Happy Valley defenders.
Yes, that is Little Red Vet as she finds a way to come up the inside. One more to get around, but she gets knocked to the outside. Blocker takes a step around, so she is good to go.
Hypnotic Therapy does a great job there of splitting up that back wall of defenders, picks up 4 points for Happy Valley, and you can see the coach for Happy Valley giving her the universal go, go, go sign.
That's right, keep it going.
Does not want Hypnotic Therapy to call that off. Very fast-moving pack here. Hypnotic Therapy sneaking in behind Kicking Assets. Takes a hard hit from number 212, Hot Donna, who's been a pretty effective blocker for Rage City, and 4 more points picked up for Happy Valley.
Definitely. Hot Donna been putting a lot of big hits in.
Yes. Little Red Vet for Rage City also managed to sneak in 4 points there.
And lining it back up on the track. Rage City going to take the back line.
And that's going to be Thrasher jamming for Happy Valley now.
Rage City changing their mind. They're going to move to the front. Statistically, they've done better when they held the front, which is also true for Happy Valley. Whoever has been in the front of the pack in this game has tended to do better getting their jammer through.
Yes.
Scrum start underway here. Both jammers trying to fight their way through.
Thrasher going up against Hot Donna. Gets pushed back, takes a hard hit at the pivot line, jumps right back up again.
Paymaker Sally, jammer for Rage City, forced to the infield. Has to recycle back around behind. She's already taken the star off, so we're going to see a star pass attempted.
Thrasher going up against Batman.
And
dodging some nice hits there, but gets pushed to the inside by Deuce Gunner.
And Paymaker Sally deciding not to go with the star pass. She hangs onto that star. Tries to break a way through. She's got 2 cleared, 3 cleared, but she's knocked out of bounds.
Hypnotic there, riding the outside line, gets around, picks up lead jammer. That's lead jammer being awarded now.
That's what they need.
That was a long, hard-fought lead jammer to be awarded.
Almost a full minute underway.
And it looks like Hypnotic there now going down, staying down. Jam is called for injury.
Yeah, Thrasher up on a knee. A little unsteady here.
Medics coming out to check her out, make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah, always a scary situation. So we've got our medical staff here on site assessing the situation, taking care of things.
And it looks like they're...
But she is actually talking with them, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think just a little shaken up there.
Yeah, it's a nasty hit. A little shaken up, a little unsteady.
And that just goes to show that coming out in the second half, that the level of play getting a little more physical early on.
Happy Valley getting much more aggressive here in this second half, really trying to break through.
And that is why we have medics here. You never want to see a situation like this, and that's why we always make sure that the medics are here, come out, check things out, make sure that everyone's doing okay. So far this tournament, it's been a relatively tournament injury-free.
Yeah, we haven't had any kind of serious injuries yet. I just saw she was, kind of smiling and laughing a little bit, talking to one of her teammates. So, a little soon to call yet, but I feel confident she's going to pull through just fine. We'll see what happens.
The team's taking this opportunity to kind of discuss strategy. We see the coach for Rage City basically talking to his team, the coach for Happy Valley, talking to his team as well. Both teams taking a moment to evaluate play so far.
So it looks like Happy Valley had a solid plan in place, just kind of got sidelined for a minute here.
And once we have information for you about the nature of the injury, we will share that with you as we get that information.
And that is Thrasher right now that's being looked at from Happy Valley.
Now, if Thrasher returns to play, she will have to sit out the next 3 jams.
Yep. That's mostly so she has a chance to stay, recover, make sure she's good to go. Well, they built in safety rules in the WFTDA. I want to take a second and also while we're having this going on here, I want to thank all of our officials, skating and non-skating officials, all our volunteers, all the teams who came out to Mayday this year, everybody at home watching, sticking with us through this.
ColoradoSports.TV for broadcasting it.
Our photographers, Shutter Up and Gil Chromians.
Thrasher is up.
Helmets back on, skates are still on. She's rolling off. Good sign.
Medics are taking her over to the medic area where they'll do some further assessments. And as we find out any information, we'll make sure that we pass that on to you at home.
In the meantime, looks like as soon as we get her off the track, we should be starting up the next jam here. There we go. This whistle's going to end the timeout. We'll get both teams lined back up on the track.
And so much
Happy Valley lining up in the back, right on the jammer line. Rage City in the front. It's pretty much standard for what we've seen this entire game. Both jammers trying to fight their way through up the middle.
That's Valkyrie Vixen now with the star for Happy Valley.
And Evil is jamming for Rage City.
It's a race as Valkyrie Vixen goes to the outside, gets around, and picks up lead jammer. Evil not expecting that.
No.
Evil surrounded by two Happy Valley blockers, so she couldn't see what was happening.
And Valkyrie Vixen just spreads those wings and flies right around.
Yeah, Valkyrie Vixen not slowing down either, looking for assistance from Gypsy Wiper out. Valkyrie Vixen now to the front of the pack, gets pushed out at turn 4.
Evil gets through. She picks up 4, though, making her way halfway around the track already. Valkyrie Vixen forced to the outside. Calls off the jam. Very smart call.
Yes.
But she did pick up 2 points during that.
2 points picked up.
So not quite enough to stop Rage City from increasing their lead. But 4-2 in that jam. Happy Valley doing a much better job now containing.
And now we see Happy Valley bringing it to the front, bringing it to the middle there. It looked like they were going to start up there at the pivot line, but they've the center there.
And kind of dropped halfway back. Good starting position, gives jammers a little bit of room to work with. Full 4 while at the front of Happy Valley defense, holding that Rage City jammer back.
Bricker, Wham Bam, Julianne involved in that. And jamming now is Demoralizer over Happy Valley. Demoralizer picks up lead jammer after taking a hard hit from Hot Donna. And Demoralizer flying around the pack as Ice Crystal, trying to get through Breaker and kicking assets and Wham Bam Julianne.
Man, exactly what Happy Valley needs to be doing right now. Demoralizer on her scoring run.
In the pack, looking for an opening, going up against Hot Donna. Hot Donna has been there every time there has been a jammer for Happy Valley trying to break through. Hot Donna is there.
So fortunately for Happy Valley right now, Rage City jammer still on her initial pass.
Demoralizer now going up against 2-all. Deuce Gunner involved in that. Spreading out the Rage City defense as they start to bridge. Oh, a hard hit to Demoralizer by Batman. Demoralizer goes out at the straightaway and calls off the jam. She picks up 4 points for her efforts.
It's a big hit by Batman. She went out of bounds as well. I don't know that Demoralizer saw that, because she could have had a chance to get back up and get back in it. But that was kind of a nasty hit. Sometimes it's better just stay down, collect yourself.
Get a fresh jammer into the mix.
But 8-point jam for Happy Valley.
Hypnotic Therapy, where's the star for Happy Valley?
Hypnotic Therapy now with the star for Happy Valley.
Rage City holding that front of the pack.
Hypnotic Therapy working the outside, gets around Batman. Deuce Gunner is there to pick up the slack. Tries to put Hypnotic Therapy out, but a nice back bend there. Core strength like crazy for Hypnotic Therapy.
A little red vet pushing a 2-wall of Happy Valley defense out, getting that lead jammer status. Shoots in on the inside, jukes to the out, gets forced to the infield by Insanity and Cookie.
Hypnotic Therapy gets stuck in a sandwich move between Hot Donna and Deuce Gunner. Now it's Tiger and Hot Donna. Hypnotic Therapy just can't find a way, and blocker for Happy Valley gets in the middle of that, kicking assets, opens up a door for Hypnotic Therapy. Goes to the inside, gets pushed to the inside.
And Little Red Vet picking up 5 more. She already works her way back around. 1 blocker from Happy Valley to clear. She's out in front of the pack again. That's going to be 5 more.
Hypnotic Therapy still trying to break through her initial pass here. Going up against Deuce Gunner once again. And Tiger takes a hard hit out the straightaway and gets recycled back behind the jam line.
And 3-wall of Happy Valley defense down to a 2-wall.
Cookie with some nice blocking there.
Olivia Wildchild helping guide her out. But Happy Valley definitely paying more attention to how they're treating defensive walls and holding Rage City's jammer back.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some nice awareness there from the Happy Valley defense that looked like it was missing a little bit in the first half.
Yeah, good adjustment. We'll see it coming back up.
Nice. 3 blockers on the track for Happy Valley. Happy Valley in white, Rage City in black and orange.
And a hard scrum start for this jam. Both jammers trying to fight their way through.
And that is Payne and the Nicky jamming for Happy Valley, going up against that, again, just abusive wall of skaters from Rage City. Payne and the Nicky muscles her way through the pack. Not enough, but she is also out. Rage City has the lead jammer. Oh, Payne and the Nicky with a hard hit.
Wow. Haymaker Sally didn't see that one coming.
Not at all. Payne and the Nicky said, I don't care if you're in front, you're the jammer, I'm going to hit you.
Woo.
Forcing Painmaker Sally to call off the jam. So you've got 2 Pain people there, Painmaker Sally and Payne and the Nicky.
Oh, they brought the pain.
Yes.
There was lots of pain.
Lots of action. We're now going to set to see Valkyrie Vixen for
Happy Valley lining up on the back side of the pack here. Rage City in front again.
Valkyrie Vixen with the star for Happy Valley. Both jammers mixing it up now at the pack. Valkyrie Vixen making her way to the front first. Again, going up against Hot Donna.
Evil jamming for Rage City, trying to get past Cookie. Cookie all over the track.
Valkyrie Vixen to the inside, gets around Deuce Gunner, picks up lead jammer. I don't think Evil was prepared for that. I don't think Rage City was prepared for that. Valkyrie Vixen flying around that track. Pack is really spread up now. Valkyrie Vixen tries for an apex jump, gets hit and goes down and calls off the jam, and they award Valkyrie Vixen 2 points.
And that was a fast enough call off to keep Rage City from scoring. Very quick assessment.
Cookie with the fist pump in the air. Happy Valley very happy about that.
As they should be. Definitely getting momentum shift here, starting to put some stuff together, getting those points on the board, holding Rage City back. This is exactly what Happy Valley needs to be doing right now. Happy Valley this time taking the front side of the pack. Breaker flipping around backwards to guide blockers.
Happy Valley with all 4 blockers out there. Breaker with some nice defensive blocking.
That's right. Ice Crystal jamming for Rage City. Forced to the outside by Breaker. Had to recycle back.
Ice Crystal get caught up in a spill there behind the pivot line. And that is Demoralizer jamming for Happy Valley at the front of the pack. Roper Mustang helping her out, going up against Batman and Hot Donna. Demoralizer trying to get through. Batman. Demoralizer stuck on that 3-wall. Deuce Gunner involved in that as well. Demoralizer takes a second to reassess, backs up, attacks it again, gets pulled back to the apex between turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Demoralizer doing a good job. When she can't get through, she just stops, takes a step back, reassesses.
Demoralizer through the pack on the inside, picks up lead jammer for Happy Valley.
Just like that. Happy Valley on a hot streak right now. A little bit of a tussle in the middle there. A couple people go to the infield.
Demoralizer back into the pack now, mixing it up, taking that inside line on the toe stops.
And Demoralizer calling it off. Ice Crystal, having made her initial pass, was about to be in scoring position.
3 points for Demoralizer, no points for Rage City.
And there we go. Happy Valley taking charge. 19 and a half left to play roughly. Rage City on top, 122-41. If Happy Valley can keep this up and start getting more subsequent passes, this is going to get real interesting.
It's interesting now.
It is. And it will just continue.
And Happy Valley now going up against a solid wall. Deuce Gunner, Batman.
Tiger in the mix in the middle there.
And that is Hypnotic Therapy.
A Little Red Vet, she gets her way out in front first, so lead jammer.
Tiger now putting some nice blocking. Batman putting some nice blocking on Hypnotic Therapy. Hypnotic Therapy works her way to the front. Cookie with a nice assist. Not quite enough. Hypnotic Therapy goes to the outside and starts on her scoring pass.
Little Red Vet zooms right around her, though. She picks up 5. Both jammers within 10 feet of each other. Make that 5 feet. Little Red Vet spinning around, going to some offensive jamming
Little
action.
taunting there, I think.
Yeah.
Hypnotic Therapy wasn't having anything of it. She just put a nice block on there and got past her, forcing the call off.
I do love the jammer on jammer action when it's away from the pack.
Yes.
A little more involved, a little more aggressive. That's when we've got blockers who also jam. They really tend to shine through with that because they know how to go for those hits. It's not just a positional getting around, it's, you know, laying it in there.
Yeah, I love seeing that. Happy Valley down to 3 blockers. Again, not a big penalty issue here. Oh, look at that. That is Payne and Nikki picking up lead jammer as she just kind of slices through that front wall of Rage City defenders. They were not prepared for her to be there, and there she was.
Yeah, Painmaker Sally jamming for Rage City. Again, it looked like she was going to go for a star pass, but then decided to hang on to it.
Payne and Nikki cut through the pack, picked up 1 point, saw that formidable 3-wall at the front, decided to call off the jam before the jammer for Rage City could get back in there and mix it up.
That's right. Sometimes better to just get in there, get the 1, call it off before you try and fight your way through, especially with the other jammer coming up on the back of the pack. You know, at some point you have to make the decision, do I just go for the 1 or 2 points? And we're going to have ourselves an official review.
An official review being called by Rage City. If we receive information about the nature of the official review, we will pass that on to you. Score right now, 127-42, just about 17 minutes left.
Yeah, looks like we're on the scoreboard correct as well. 17:08 now, the official time left. Only 1 second off, not bad at all.
It's an appropriate mellow song being played for the official review.
It's not stopping from Cookie from having a little fun with it, though.
That's right. Both these teams playing a very good game, very clean game. We're still not seeing a lot of penalties in the second half. And usually in a game when the score is, you know, as it is right now with this kind of a lead, a lot of that is due to penalties from the team on the not winning side. Correct. But in this situation, both teams playing very cleanly. Rage City just really doing a fantastic job of holding back the Happy Valley blockers and breaking through the Happy Valley walls and getting their jammers out and picking up lead jammer.
Right.
And then making a couple of passes and scoring.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, Rage City really owned that in the first half. In this second half, Happy Valley has come back very strongly. And we're not seeing Rage City being able to put a lot of passes on the board.
Right. The Happy Valley is doing a pretty effective job of holding the score down, keeping that deficit between the two teams about where it was coming into the half.
Mm-hmm. So looking at my very unofficial scribblings here. In this second half, Rage City, Happy Valley pretty much evenly matched on getting lead jammer. That proving to be effective here. Happy Valley getting out more often, getting that lead jammer status. They're not getting the 4 and 5 point passes. There's been, you know, a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Right.
They are getting some of those 4s and 5s. And that's why, you know, the deficit is definitely decreasing.
And it looks like we're getting some information from the officials on the nature of the official review. So we'll share that with you here in a moment.
Rage City was looking for a blocking with the head on Happy Valley's jammer. The penalty was not awarded, so the no call stands. And Rage City will lose their official review.
And back to the action here. The whistle has blown. Payne and the Nikki jamming for Happy Valley, just surrounded by Rage City defenders. Payne and Nikki finds an opening. Payne and Nikki being sent to the penalty box for cutting the track. It looked like she got pushed out here at turn 1, and I'm assuming stepped back in, then getting that cut track.
All it takes is just 1 little inch. You set your foot down for a second in the wrong spot. It's that easy to get it.
And she really had nowhere to go.
Right. Evil now jamming for Rage City. She's going to be the lead jammer.
Cookie with a hit there on Evil.
And Evil, she gets through, picks up 5. Pack standing pretty much still at turn 2. Happy Valley looking to move open a little bit.
Deuce Gunner does a nice job of opening up the wall so that Evil can get through. Evil going up against Cookie. Cookie goes down hard. 5 points picked up by Evil.
That's right, but that cookie doesn't crumble.
No.
She's a tough cookie. Bolt Jammer's now back up in the middle of the pack, pinning the Nikki back from the box. Forced to the outside, has to recycle.
A forearm penalty being called on number 313, Wicked Speedia from Rage City. And the jam ending now, 3 points picked up by Rage City. So even though Rage City is scoring here, they're not getting the full 5 or 4 that they've been getting in previous jams. Happy Valley doing a good job of, starting to realize how to neutralize those Rage City jammers.
Yeah. Now we're going jam for jam. It's much closer, much more what we were expecting to see here.
And Valkyrie Vixen out on the jam line for Happy Valley, doing a little dance as she waits for the whistle to blow.
Rage City holding the front.
Valkyrie Vixen picks up a cut track penalty, goes to the penalty box. So she was called lead jammer, but then the outside pack official blew the cut track, so she'll go to the penalty box. And lead jammer now going to Rage City, Ice Crystal.
And Rage City holding the pack steady in the straightaway. Put on the speed all of a sudden.
Ice Crystal getting around Flower Bomb and Roper Mustang.
So that's going to be good for 5. About a quarter lap behind the pack. Pack holding still at the apex on the far side of the track.
Oh, nice move by Ice Crystal as she makes a little jump inside of the apex there and picks up another 5 points.
Valkyrie Vixen coming back from the penalty box. Power jam is over. Rage City, though, 4-on-3 blocker advantage currently. Breaker now making her way back in, so we're going to be 5-on-5 momentarily.
Roper Mustang and Flower Bomb bridging out to try and slow Ice Crystal down. Ice Crystal is not thwarted by that, picks up 5 points.
And Valkyrie Vixen makes her way through her initial pass. So Ice Crystal getting up in the middle. She's going to call it off here, it looks like. Yes, there's the call.
Flower Bomb getting called on a clockwise block going to the penalty box.
2 points Rage City, 1 point Happy Valley on that.
And a timeout now being called by Happy Valley.
So even with Rage City getting the advantage there, Happy Valley doing a good job keeping her to 2 and picking up 1 from themselves at the same time.
That gives us an opportunity to say thank you to our officials, our referees, and our non-state.
And we see the coach having a quick assessment there and conference with Cookie out on the track.
And Professor D talking to Rage City.
Olivia Wildchild, Gypsy Wipeout also out there for Happy Valley.
Yeah, with 13 and a half and some change left here.
13 and a half and some change.
Yeah, 13 and a half and some change.
Okay.
It's 13:39 if, you want to be technical. Rage City 157, Happy Valley 43. So a 17-point jam in that last jam for Rage City. Starting to spread this back out. So let's see how Happy Valley reacts and what they do to adjust and come back.
And if you're just joining us at home now, Rage City in black and orange, the Halloween colors, and Happy Valley in white and pink.
All right, timeout is over. We're lined back up on the track. Rage City in front, Happy Valley in the back of the pack.
There's the whistle. The teams are off. They're also playing derby.
Little Red Vet jamming for Rage City. Forced to the inside, has to go back. Cookie dropping back.
Jammer for Happy Valley stuck in a solid wall. Pain in the Nicky trying to mix it up and open a door there. Hot Donna in the mix as well.
And Little Red Vet's going to be your lead jammer.
And that is Thrasher jamming for Happy Valley. So recovered from the injury she suffered earlier, and she's back out there in the mix now. Thrasher breaks through the pack and starts her initial scoring run.
And Little Red Vet shoots around the outside, picks up 4, and she's going to go ahead and call it off with Thrasher coming right around on the back of the pack.
Flower Bomb came onto the track just at the end there. Jam called off before she was really to get in the mix and do anything.
The penalty box has been cleared out. We're going to start fresh, 5-on-5.
That's Breaker, Roper, Mustang out there blocking for Happy Valley.
And lining up on the pivot line.
Wham Bam Julianne out there as well.
Deuce Gunner, pivot for Rage City with her toe on that line, pulled it off. Had an interesting situation we could have had there. It's been a while since we've seen pivot line derby.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, but I say that, but it's becoming more and more common.
Yes.
And there we go, the jammer for Happy Valley fighting her way through the pack, trying to get around Deuce Gunner. Demoraliza being sent to the penalty box.
I believe that is a back block is what's being signaled. So Rage City with a power jam. Lead jammer status having been awarded to Painmaker Sally. She shoots up the inside, gets a little tripped up, slides through.
Does a nice job, though, picking up 5 points for Rage City.
And Happy Valley is sending a blocker to the box now, so they're going to be down 4-on-3 in the pack. Painmaker Sally already back in the middle, shoots around the outside, jukes up in the inside, gets through, she picks up another 5. So Happy Valley really having to work it now harder defensively since they are down a blocker.
Coming out of the box now is Demoraliza. She's looking ahead, looking at the pack, trying to assess what's going on, and Rage City calling off the jam, picking up 4 points in the process. So Demoraliza not able to do much at that point.
And Happy Valley going to start this next jam. one blocker short, but she is standing. She's been standing for a couple of seconds.
That's Cookie Insanity and Olivia Wildchild. We're on the same page there, Rockton
yes,
Mike.
This page right here.
This page in front of us.
Those of you who can't see the page I'm pointing to, it is our roster sheets.
Shh. We do this all from memory.
Yes, yes, we do. Happy Valley with a solid 3-wall at the front, holding Evil back.
Rage City with a solid 4-wall at the pivot line, holding back the jammer for Happy Valley.
And Cookie, again, all over the track, forcing the cut.
Hypnotic Therapy, looking for an opening, trying to find it, trying to get around Tiger now from Rage City.
Yeah, that was a very sneaky job on Cookie's part, dropping back the way she did.
And there we go, Hypnotic Therapy, number 503, your lead jammer for Happy Valley. There's an opportunity here for Happy Valley to pick up some much-needed points. Hypnotic Therapy back in the mix of things, gets pushed to the inside at the straightaway. It's going to get pulled all the way back to the apex of turn 1 and 2 by Hot Donna.
And there she is again, like you said before, every time she's right there on it.
If I had to pick an MVP blocker right now for this game, it would be Hot Donna. 5 points being picked up by Hypnotic Therapy.
All right. Happy Valley trying to open up a hole. Cookie leading the way, trying to get her through.
Evil back on the track, going against a 3-wall at the back. Breaker doing a nice job of holding Evil back.
It appears to be Evil's initial pass still. So Happy Valley's got a little bit of an opportunity here to try and get one more pass on the board.
3-wall being headed by Hot Donna, holding Hypnotic Therapy back. Hypnotic Therapy gets pushed out between the jam and pivot line. Hot Donna brings her back to the apex between 3 and 4. Hypnotic Therapy calls off the jam, picking up 4 points. Just about 9 minutes left here in the second half. Still a lot of derby to come. This is only day 1. Today's games, for those of you at home, are deciding the bracket seeding for tomorrow.
And that will lead on into Sunday for our championship game. We've also got some men's derby action coming up this weekend.
And some junior derby as well.
And we are back underway here on the track. Rage City again in the front of the pack, but it's Ice Crystal, lead jammer for Rage City.
Kicking Assets jamming for Happy Valley, gets pulled all the way back to the jam line.
This is the first time we've seen Kicking Assets jamming.
That's right, Kicking Assets to the inside, now starts her scoring run. Meanwhile, Ice Crystal gets pushed to the inside, calls off the jam, picking up 2 points for Happy Valley.
That was pain in the
Excuse me, for Rage City.
With a hit on there.
We're seeing some nice camaraderie out there as the jammers for both teams give each other a nice little hug. There's a timeout that has been called. This timeout has been called by Rage City. And that's Valkyrie Vixen out there with the star for Happy Valley.
All right, and coming up next over here on track 1, we've got the Lava City Roller Dolls taking on West Texas Roller Dolls. So We've still got 8 minutes left to play here in this one, but after we're done here, don't go away. We've got lots more great Derby action happening right here on track number 1, being brought to you by our friends at ColoradoSports.TV.
Lava City won their game earlier against Happy Valley, and West Texas lost their game earlier to Cheyenne. So that's what's coming up next.
Either the chambers are giving each other insubordination penalties, or they're making it rain on the track as we wait for the chance to begin.
And the timeout continues.
There we go. Timeout now over.
Those of you at home just joining us, it is Happy Valley in white, Rage City in red. Black and orange. I don't know where red came from.
You're just seeing red because of the rage.
That could be. The rage of Rage City is making me see red. I'm glad that you are here, Rock the Mic, to correct me.
I do what I can.
So that our home audience knows what's going on. Breaker putting a nice block there, and Roper Mustang on Little Red Vet at the front of the pack.
In the meantime, Valkyrie Vixen having to contend with a 4-wall at the back.
And it's Little Red Vet out in front, picking up lead jammer for Rage City.
Valkyrie Vixen about a quarter of a lap, third of a lap now behind her. Pack slowing down. Happy Valley in the back. Little Red Vet gets forced to the inside, calls it off. And just before Valkyrie Vixen is able to score. So 2 more on the board for Rage City.
Happy Valley, again, doing a good job keeping these points down, but unfortunately, they're not getting enough of their own points up on the board to make that work to their advantage. And there's just about 7 minutes left for Happy Valley to turn this around and get some action up there.
Yeah, right now it's in classic case of too little, too late. They're adjusting well. They're just not getting enough points on the board. So if they can get, a few breakaway jams.
Kicking assets jamming for Happy Valley for a second time now, making her way through the Rage City defenders. And kicking assets picks up lead jammer.
And Paymaker Sally, cookies all over her in this jam.
Kicking assets in the mix again, goes to the inside and picks up 5 points for Happy Valley.
Rage City go with a star pass to Deuce Gunner. She's got the star on now. She's cleared the pack.
We've not seen Deuce Gunner with the star before.
A cutting the track penalty being assessed
on kicking assets. So Happy Valley goes to the penalty box. That puts Rage City in a power jam. You could hear the audience and the bench for Happy Valley yelling to kicking assets to call it. She was not able to do so because of the penalty.
Right. Right now we got Deuce Gunner, power jam. Working her way around as she shifts to the inside.
Gets around Breaker.
That's good for 5. All right, she's coming up on a 3-wall of Happy Valley defense as she tries to force her way in from the outside.
Olivia Wildchild and Breaker. Cookie putting the hurt on. Now it's just Olivia Wildchild and Breaker. Breaker pushes the inside. Breaker gets sent to the penalty box. Deuce Gunner gets by and picks up 5 points.
Yeah, an out-of-play penalty on that one. Pack just kind of fell too far behind them as they kept going and holding it. They were doing a great job shifting around, though, while they were still in that engagement zone.
Cookie goes down, trying to put the hit on Deuce Gunner. Deuce Gunner now being held very solidly, once again, by Payne and the Nicky.
And Olivia Wildchild helping her out with that. Cookie coming in for a hit from the inside. But Gunner gets through, picks up 4 as this jam is over.
That was a lot of hits on Deuce Gunner as she had that star.
Yeah, Happy Valley is still playing a very strong, physical, aggressive game. And lining it back up. Rage City going to be in the back. Happy Valley taking the front line. Happy Valley down 1 blocker. A slow-moving pack.
Yeah, both jammers having difficulty with their respecting defense, trying to get through. Evil gets through Cookie and Payne and the Nicky and picks up lead jammer for Rage City.
And Olivia Wildchild back on the track.
Thrasher trying to get through the pack. Now Tiger putting some hard hits. Thrasher breaks through and starts her scoring run.
Yeah, so this is the exact same blocker lineup from Happy Valley we saw in the previous jam.
Evil decides to call off the jam after not being able to get around Cookie and Pain in the Nicky. Picks up 2 points in the process. No points scored for Happy Valley.
And again, Happy Valley holding her to 2 instead of letting her get that full 4 or 5. So Happy Valley continuing to adapt and really work this. Rage City trying to find ways around them, making Happy Valley making it very difficult to do so.
Yeah, they've really come together with a tighter defense in the second half, and it would have been nice if they'd have been able to do this in the first half.
Yeah.
Score would be a lot different if that had happened.
I say the score really right now not all that indicative of how the gameplay itself is actually going.
Right.
It's a very hard-fought, tight game. The Rage City really had that bigger lead built up in the first half, and they're continuing to monopolize on that.
Little Red Vet gets past a 2-wall of Breaker, and Wham Bam Julian picks up lead Jammer. Meanwhile, Hypnotic Therapy taking some hard hits at the back of the pack, recycled back to just in front of the jam line.
Yeah, it was just under 3 minutes left. Both teams starting to get a little tired, it looks like. Play's getting just slightly sloppier. Hits are getting a little bigger and out of control.
5 points on the board for Rage City, Little Red Vet. And we have a star pass, or an attempted star pass here. But,
there we go.
So Hypnotic Therapy had taken the star off her head like she was going to pass it, but then got through the pack, put the star back on her head. So, and that's the end of the jam. Just about 2 minutes left. Time for 2, maybe 3 more jams.
Sounds about right. So we haven't seen a whole lot of really short jams in the second half. They're typically going a minute, minute and a half long.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams having to work really hard through the opposing team's defense before lead jammer is awarded or before points are scored. And that's really what's causing these long jams. And that's Valkyrie Vixen out there jamming for Happy Valley once again, going up against a very solid 4-wall. She breaks through to the middle, going up against Deuce Gunner now. Valkyrie Vixen trying to push Deuce Gunner out of the way. Finally gets around Deuce Gunner and picks up lead jammer for Happy Valley.
And Paymaker Sally really trying hard to get through this Happy Valley defense. Cookie again right there on the outside line, forcing her out.
Cookie doing a great job when she pushes out a skater of recovering and recycling and pulling that skater she's pushed out back.
And Paymaker Sally has removed her helmet cover.
Valkyrie Vixen with the star for Happy Valley at the front of the pack again. Oh, takes a hard hit and goes down on her backside. Right back up again, though.
And Paymaker Sally gets through, puts the star back on. We're trying to play a little bit of a mental game.
Yes,
here.
We've seen that twice now. Happy Valley doing that in the previous jam. Rage City turning around and doing that this time. 5 points picked up by Valkyrie Vixen at the end of that jam.
It's an interesting thought. Say taking that helmet cover off. Without it on, you're an inactive jammer.
Right.
So you can't get any points with it off.
But at the same time, it changes the focus of the opposing team.
So if you're on your initial pass and you're not lead, it's a good way to sneak through.
Yeah.
Very interesting strategy. I wonder if we'll start seeing that pop up more and more often here.
Thrasher to the outside picks up lead jammer for Happy Valley. And it's just amazing after that hit that she took earlier. Jam got called off. She sat out for an injury. She's back in play and doing an amazing job. Thrasher to the inside once again and picks up 4 points.
A very quick step to avoid that cut on the apex.
Calls off the jam, and that is it. Our unofficial final now, 202 to 69.
We have an unofficial final, 202-69.
Well, Rock to Mike, this game did not play out exactly the way that I thought it would. Coming into this game with these two teams coming off on losses and the way their previous games had gone, I thought for sure that this would be kind of a close, hard-fought game, but Rage City proving me wrong, coming out early on and taking control, keeping control throughout both halves of the game.
Yeah.
Just doing a much better job of keeping their walls tightened together, holding back the jammers for Happy Valley, and the Rage City Jammers being able to break through those Happy Valley walls early on and picking up those points.
That's exactly what it came down to, just lead jammer status. That was the deciding factor in this game. Penalties were low for both teams.
Yes.
We had a lot of people on the track at all times. It just came down to getting out first, getting those 1 or 2 quick passes, calling it off.
Rage City taking their victory lap now. 202 to 69, the score.
Let's say bit of a differential here, but still a very exciting game to watch. Very physical game, hard fought by both teams. Rage City coming out on top, though.
And now Happy Valley takes their victory lap. I want to thank all of those those of you at home for joining us and watching this game. We hope you had as much fun watching it as we had as much fun calling it for you. Feel free to send all your feedback to Rock the Mic and send all your positive feedback to DJ Dick.
I can handle it. It's okay.
And coming up, the next game here on track 1, Lava City going up against West Texas.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with ColoradoSports.TV.
This is Jumping Spider from Mayday Mayhem 2015, and I'm here with Hot Donna and Bat Mam from the Rage City Rollergirls, who were just victorious in their game proceeding against Happy Valley by the score of 202-65. You both played a great game, excellent blocking, and then as I was talking to you previously, or just prior to this interview, it looked like you were playing 3, 4, 5 jams in a row. Is that a normal practice, or is that just something for the tournament? And if so, has it been difficult, or has it made you stronger as a team?
We typically practice like that. We have our A lineup that we put out every single time we practice like that. We scrimmage like that, and typically in all of our games we start with our A lineup, and then we keep it that way just until we get comfortable with the point spread, and then we start rotating in other players, and it does help us, and it helps us get that lead that we like to have.
Excellent, excellent. Now you played the first game of the tournament, and that was 186-156 against Muddy River. That you took the loss on that one. It was upset according to the seeding. Did you take anything away from that game? Did you feel like you'd come in cold, and did any of that play into this last game where did you come out with a sense of purpose?
Well, I definitely think we came in cold. Some of us were still coming in last night in the early hours, so that was a little bit difficult, but also we played at 6:30 our time, so we're not used to that, but it definitely lit a fire, and it was good to get the cobwebs out. So it was a little rocky, but I've definitely learned from it and was able to, this was a much better game for me.
Now, I said I was going to ask you a goofy one. So with both of you being in the team from Alaska, you see, movies where guys are chasing chickens around a yard, or Rockies drinking eggs and punching sides of beef. Is there anything that is typically Alaska that you guys do in your training and your practicing that other teams don't do? And if there's not, you just make one up.
Oh, I don't know. I'm new to Alaska, so I'm 2 months in, coming from Washington, so I'm still learning, but I don't know. What, we chase moose? I don't know.
Yeah, we scrimmage with moose. How about that?
We scrimmage with moose.
So it's like the battering ram on the mountainside? Well, that would definitely help. Thanks again, Donna. Batman, congratulations on your victory. Rage City now 1-1 so far in pool play in the tournament, and we will see them later. I am Jumping Spider from Mayday Mayhem 2015.